This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some big important updates to share with you. With record high profits coming from oil companies, Democrats are proposing a new type of stimulus check, a gas stimulus check. This could happen on a federal level, and we're starting to see it happen on a state level in states like Florida, California. I'm going to play a video clip from Elizabeth Warren talking more about this, and also we're seeing articles like this. Senate Joint Resolution proposes $500 gas vouchers, and then Mitt Romney wants your child to have a $4,200 yearly allowance. And then this one, deadline to claim $1,000 monthly income payments is next week. Here's how to apply before it's too late, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a more than mundane Monday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. And we're back in Denver, Colorado. Got another free hotel for a few days. If you're curious how I'm able to get almost free flights, free hotels, check my videos on my channel before 2020, and I talk all about that. But yeah, so that's how we're able to travel almost for free. By doing that, you could check it later on. But anyways, so China COVID spike, Shenzhen shuts production, Shanghai closes schools. So we're seeing another mainland China is facing its worst COVID outbreak since the height of the pandemic in 2020. So looks like really big spike in cases going on in China, not so much in the US at the moment. Things are starting to dwindle down in the US, and a lot of things are opening up. Schools, no more mask mandates. Even in New York City, one of the strictest places, is opening up as well. So I'm not sure if that's going to trickle out to the rest of the world, but soaring gas prices are hurting Americans. It's time for more stimulus checks. With record high gas prices due to inflation, but also due to the war that's going on in Ukraine right now, a lot of people are starting to call for stimulus checks, and Democrats unveil a bill to tax big oil's profits and send checks to the public. So because the oil companies are basically doing the same amount of work, but now getting a lot more money for the same amount of work and price gouging at the same time, Democrats have unveiled a new proposal to give a piece of that profit to the American people in the form of like a gas voucher or a gas stimulus check. Take a look at Elizabeth Warren talking about that, as well as a few other important issues.
Gas prices are up big time at the pump. It's become a major issue politically here in the US. The Biden administration is calling it Putin's price rise. The Republicans are saying it's Biden's price rise. But aren't we missing out the obvious culprits, the oil and gas companies that are making record profits and price gouging along the way? Why not do something about them?
Well, got a plan for that. Senator Whitehouse and I and others have introduced a windfall profits tax that says if you're out there price gouging, you're going to have to give up a big chunk of your ill-gotten gains. That's the best way I know to be able to push back against these oil companies. You know, this is a problem we've got, and that is that when something happens that may cause the cost of the supply to go up just a little, we're watching giant corporations, oil company, but also we're seeing it in food, for example, that companies swoop in and say, hey, while we have the opportunity, they go ahead and raise prices even more. That's why we're seeing not just that prices are going up, but that profit margins are going up and going up dramatically.
I find it bizarre, Senator, that our solution to avoid buying oil from one foreign autocracy that abuses human rights is to go and buy oil from another foreign autocracy that abuses human rights. Saudi Arabia just mass executed 81 people yesterday, the largest mass execution in modern times. And yet there are reports the Biden administration wants to go hat in hand to the Saudis for more oil. At what point do we focus on renewables at home and not more oil from abroad?
Well, you know, we have to remind ourselves, if we had focused more on renewables at home starting 15 years ago, Russia wouldn't have the power that it has today. So, okay, I don't have a time machine. We can't go backwards. But please let us use this moment to concentrate our focus on the need to get ourselves off a fossil fuel economy. This is the moment that we need to be investing and doubling down again on solar, on wind, on hydro, so that Russia does not have the power. And the same is true for other countries. We shouldn't put ourselves at risk for how it is that they get their money through a fossil fuel economy, and then how they use it to try to disrupt the worldwide economy. This is a moment we need to be saying, yep, this is why all of us need to go green. We need to make that investment as a nation now.
And Senator, if Americans are getting hit hard by oil prices, why not offer them some financial relief? Why not do what the president promised to do on the campaign trail, and instead of doing endless pauses on student loan repayment, just cancel $10,000 in student debt as he promised? And I know you want him to go further and cancel $50,000. Why isn't he doing it? Why is he breaking that pledge, which he has the power to enact via executive order? He doesn't need Joe Manchin's vote on this.
So today would be a great day to cancel student loan debt, Mr. President. Remember, 40% of the people who have student loan debt do not have a college diploma. They're people who did exactly what we asked them to do. They tried, but they had babies, they were working 3 jobs, their mom got sick. It didn't work out for them. And now they earn what a high school graduate earns, but they're trying to deal with college loan debt. Also remember what it's doing to the racial wealth gap. African Americans, Latinos borrow more money to go to school, more money while they're in school, and have a harder time paying it off. If the president canceled $50,000 of student loan debt, he could cancel the black-white wealth gap for those with student loan debt by 27 points. Think what that would do for racial equity in this country. And I'll just mention about women. 2 out of every $3 of student loan debt is owned by a woman. We struggle more to pay for college and have a harder time paying off the debts when we get out. Canceling $50,000 of student loan debt would help tens of millions of Americans, people whose only sin was to be born into a family that couldn't write a check for them to go to school, and who nonetheless got out there and tried to get an education. So I think this is the moment to do it. The president has the power. Yes. There's wind in his sails. Tens of millions of people want him to do it. So, Mr. President, now's a good time. Cancel $50,000 of student loan debt.
What are your thoughts on what Elizabeth Warren has to say? So she also spoke about a few different things there, also spoke about student loan forgiveness. Doesn't look like President Biden is going to forgive it anytime soon. But what are your thoughts on the gas stimulus check? Good idea, bad idea? What about the people who don't drive cars? Should they get a piece of that as well? Let me know your thoughts on all that down in the comments below. Also, Democrats unveil plan to issue quarterly checks to Americans by taxing oil companies posting huge profits. So this is a proposal by Ro Khanna from California. Spoke about this the other day. Basically, what he wants to do is for any individuals making less than $75,000, couples making less than $150,000, similar to how the stimulus checks went out, it would be at the price of $120 a barrel. Single filers would get $240 a year, and joint filers would get $360 a year. Is that enough? Should it be more? With the oil companies getting huge billion-dollar profits, should it be more than that, or is that a good amount? Less? So we're going to see gasoline vouchers worth $300 a month. Some economists back new government aid as price at the pump soars. So we saw Ro Khanna, which is about $360 on the high side for the year. Now we're seeing $300 per month vouchers. So what it's saying here, there's a few different tweets that are going out. If I were Dem leadership in the House, I'd bring forward a bill to give $50 billion gas price relief to low-income households and defy Republicans to vote against it. So we're starting to see a lot of different numbers come out. So providing $2 to $3 per gallon of gas for families could work out to $200 to $300 per month per family, assuming they typically pump 100 gallons each month into their cars. Let me know your thoughts on this. $200 to $300 per month. I'm not sure how the details of this would work, if you could use this for other things besides gas, or is this just for gas? Let me know your thoughts on that. And we're starting to see this in other states on a state level, not just a federal level, but also state levels. So Florida lawmakers approve 1-month gas tax break in October. So lawmakers chose October for tax holiday, citing fewer tourists on the road. So what's going on here, this is just in Florida. State lawmakers agreed to 1-month, $200 million gas tax break paid for by federal stimulus money this past Wednesday night. This tax break would fall a month before Governor Ron DeSantis faces re-election with other politicians. So that's going on in California. That's going on in Florida. Then in California, Governor Newsom wants to send money to Californians to help with record high gas prices. So Governor Newsom wants to send money to California taxpayers to address the state's skyrocketing gas prices, which is probably one of the highest, if not the highest, in the entire country. Also, so what's saying here, some gas stations in the Los Angeles area have been charging over $7 for a gallon of gas, which is crazy. So it looks like California might get a piece of that. Then we see this, Senate Joint Resolution proposes $500 gas vouchers. So this is actually going on in Guam, which technically is a part of the US. It's an island in the Pacific that belongs to the US. So what they're talking about there is $500 gas vouchers there through a program. Then moving on from that, so I'll keep you updated on what goes on with gas vouchers, gas stimulus checks. So Biden tells the House Democrats to do a better job of selling the agenda ahead of midterms. So not sure what exactly that means. So with the Build Back Better bill completely dead, now they've rebranded it, renamed it to the Building a Better America. With that sort of in the balance as well, we don't really know what's going on because it all depends on Joe Manchin. It doesn't matter how many times President Biden goes out and pitches the idea of it. It all really depends on one person, maybe two, including Kyrsten Sinema. So Representative Patrick Maloney of New York said, if our agenda is incomplete, it doesn't mean we are broken. It means we have to keep working. We know what the stakes are. So President Biden pushing that. So President Biden said the oil company and the executives don't want to pump more oil, although they have the capacity to do so. Whoops. Then, rather than spend the profits of the increased price of gasoline, they would rather take those profits and buy back stock. So basically another reason why there should be gas stimulus checks. Moving on to the child tax credit. So child tax credit, 22% of families can no longer meet basic needs without the advance. So looks like 22% relying on that around $250 to $300 per month child tax credit are starting to suffer the consequences of not having that money. So in terms of child tax credit, so child tax credit 2022 update, automatic monthly $250 payments could be sent in new family stimulus check plan. Not really. So although there are a few proposals for the child tax credit, nothing is going through. There's no Build Back Better that's about to pass that have the child tax credit. There's no Building a Better America that has the child tax credit. So can it happen in 2022? At the moment, there's nothing like that will pass. There is a plan like this where Mitt Romney wants your child to have a $4,200 yearly allowance. That's also another proposal. So basically, what he's saying here is nearly all U.S. children, excluding those from the highest earning households, would be allotted a monthly benefit worth $4,200 a year up to age 5 and $3,000 a year up to age 17. So that would be distributed on a monthly basis, just like the child tax credit. Even that, Mitt Romney is basically standing alone. I didn't even see any Democrats adopting the Mitt Romney child tax credit plan. Democrats are just struggling enough to get anything through, any pieces of their Build Back Better plan through. So it doesn't seem likely with that anytime soon, but I'll keep you updated. And then also, deadline to claim $1,000 monthly income payments is next week. How to apply before it's too late. So this is the Creative Rebuild New York. So these are the $1,000 monthly checks for 18 months for artists living in New York. So that's what's going on there. And the deadline is, I believe, March 20. I thought I said it here. Yeah, the deadline, okay, I guess they're going to be chosen. Yeah, the deadline is March 25th. Yeah, okay. So that's that for that, and that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
And for a short tip of the day, also, if you want, whatever you could do anything if you want in life. Don't feel like anybody's pulling you back, just go. Just explore what you want to do, and that's the end of the tip of the day.
Thank you so much for watching. So we are back in Denver. It's really hard to post over the past couple days. We were traveling. We went to a different type of hot spring on the way. We've been exploring the Denver area, went to a museum. So we're trying to have a lot of fun. And actually tomorrow we head back to Myrtle Beach. We had an awesome time. And thank you for your support. Thanks for being patient. I haven't really been able to upload around the same time in the morning. And I've also missed a few days. So sorry about that. Thanks for sticking with me though. And if you want to check out any of my other videos, my other channels, you could click up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.